Hey guys, Sarge here with the December 26th, 1941 turn for my 1v1 against Invictus on one of the Pacific Admirals edition. This has been long overdue, kind of a turn update, see where the points are, see losses. I intend to do this maybe once a week in-game, just so you guys can see point differences, losses better, as well as just maybe notice my mistakes. I did do most of this turn because I was changing a lot of this. I did do basically all of the turn when I was changing, because I was changing a lot of stuff. So let's just start with Hawaii. I moved all of the battleships and carriers to the west coast. Battleships to the west coast because they aren't really useful at the beginning, and they also have those upgrades in January of 42. So getting them to the shipyards on the west coast would be great. They get like double their AA. And the troops that I was sending towards Wake for like a rescue mission, I did send them to Johnston. So we got a little bit still unloading. It's going to take a little while because it's only a level 1 port. And I do need to transport more supplies there actually, so that I can do that real quick. So it was a Marine Defense Battalion and a Coastal AA Regiment. Those Coastal AA regiments are really good. So I look forward to that. Just grab these ones. And then AK. Don't have many transport ships left. And Pearl. I didn't really start with many to begin with. So we're just gonna get supplies, transfer to Johnston. I chose Johnston over Midway because if he does take Johnston, it cuts off Palmyra to Hawaii, and it also makes transporting to Australia take a lot longer, and I can always send more to Midway later. I did move a lot of. I have moved as much as I can away from Philippines in terms of planes. I moved some Catalinas to Trichonmuli as well as to Calcutta, just so I can get some longer range, just so I can get some view range, not view range, but spotting, because I didn't have any at all over here. So I'll fix that. I have the Burma Division formed up here at Mulmine. It's got about 86 or so AV. That is, what do you call it? Disabled. I'm moving more stuff to Pegu, and I'm also moving to this hex here to prevent what Azop did in the 3v3 game. Over here, I was sent a map by Evokin on the best places to defend in China. So I'm kind of doing some organized retreats. I got to get everything from Yan'an, well, as much as I can from Yan'an. That's going to pass through, and I'm going to get out of Cyan because that is clear terrain. And then with Aichang, it's more about just beating these troops than holding Aichang. And then we're going to pull these guys back into like this kind of thing, just make a defensive crescent. Kukong will be pulled back once these troops get there, and that troop does. Wuchao and Pakoi is already pulling back. I'm sending these guys to Chosian to try and, because I have the hex site open, it'll enable me to get those guys out. Right here, they did have some very good, what do you want to call it? They dropped their fatigue and disruption a lot here, so that is good. One thing I'm concerned with, I'm just gonna shock attack all of these guys. Though I am gonna do that divide unit trick where since there's more odds of getting disabled troops back, it doesn't help on the offensive. But yeah, look at this. Only offensive capability is 9 medium machine guns. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of recovery. I'm just hoping to kick this unit out, cause even more casualties to it. Aichang, we had a great result at Aichang. I have decided to attack. I'm not really. I didn't really take much fatigue or disruption. Maybe 3 or 4 points of fatigue on each unit. He had gotten a lot more with that attack that went horribly. He also took 380 AV in casualties. I took about 100, so he lost about between a third and half, but a bit closer to a third uh, in terms of AV losses. So China's looking really good. I am way more confident with India and Rangoon in this game, making better decisions. The reason the 18th Division is down here is when we did like 3 turns in a row, I forgot to check on these guys, and they were still heading to Singapore. So I was glad I caught it when I did, so I can still divert them to Colombo. I have decided to send them to Colombo so we can unload these large transports that are worth a lot, like 40 points for an AP. That really should just be between like the East Coast and Cape Town. And load them onto the smaller transports because they'll also be able to unload faster. Let's see, but no, it was. So for here, I'm not moving to Mersing for this turn because of their disruption and fatigue. The moving and then about 3 or 4 attacks has hit them pretty hard with fatigue and disruption. I would put them to rest their training, but I think he's gonna bomb again, and I want to be able to put up a flak defense. And as well for that, I am putting all of this cap here as much as I can at Johor Bahru, so that will hopefully hit his bombers pretty hard. And looks like here he did get into Manila. And thankfully, I doubt they'd retreat to that hex. When I do lose Manila, because I'll eventually hopefully they'll retreat into Clark. For the ships here, I can't these are gonna sink, but I can't scuttle. Oh, I can't scuttle. Okay, yeah, scuttle. I guess they have to be a certain. They have to be damaged a certain amount. So, and then with the subs, subs are. I didn't realize just how fast these repair. So, this is still stuck for 2 days. I can't really do anything with that. Surabaya, I am getting out the Prince of Wales and Repulse just to make sure that they get out. I don't want to deal with what happened in the 3v3. Over at Port Moresby, I do have this. I have transported another Australian battalion over, so we'll be able to form the 30th Australian Brigade. Get that nice and strong. And then I could do some transportation with these guys maybe, because a lot of the infantry got out. Could be an idea. And then not really too much else. I do need to get some more troops to Noumea. Do I have anything that I could earmark for it? I could do this division. Don't know where they were going. Yeah, I don't know why they're going to Wagga Wagga. But maybe it's to get on the rail line. Oh no, these guys were going to. Oh, these guys weren't going to Perth, were they? I mean, it looks like I was setting them to go to Perth. Yeah, my mind's mixing up the two different games because we're about the same time. But I do need to get more units to Noumea and eventually to maybe eventually to Luganville. I do have some troop convoys. I don't want to show them just in case that are coming down. They're basically the typical stuff that gets off the U.S. in the first few turns in terms of troops, and I'll be sending them to important areas. Is this a part of the... Where are you at? Where is Sale? Okay. I mean, that is a part of the rail line that's not really useful. Could send armored cars. Probably this unit would be pretty good to have on there. It'd be pretty hard to get out. I do think one of my convoys is going to Noumea. Not entirely sure, but I will just. Do I? Yeah, I will put these guys to plan for Noumea. Actually, I think I'd want. I'll plan them for Luganville. Nope. I had to click on the exact base. There we go. Plan them for Luganville. I do want these guys to get upgrades. And then, yeah, keeping them in Brisbane. Brisbane is just fine. Stack Sigint. Nothing out of the ordinary. Ops reports. It took me so long to find where San Luis Obispo was. I cannot believe it took me as long as it did to find that. Oh yeah, and then we got these guys. Did I set up their training? I did not. Okay, that's good. I do want them set to Naval Attack. To train at Naval Attack. Look how bad these pilots are. Like, they aren't even good for anything, so you literally just train them up. The only thing they're even in the 30s for is ground bombing and defense. Like, might as well just train them up. So, good thing I went back and looked for that. Might as well set that to 100 as well. Don't really have much use for those right now. And then, one thing I will show now that it's kind of being built together is ADAC. I did not mention this on purpose, and the reason I've not sent subs out is as soon as I get subs out here, he's gonna. It's not. I wouldn't say it's completely obvious, but it's not like. It's a known spot where subs come from, so I didn't want to start sending subs there until I had some defense. Well, some sort of defense. I'll have 2 coastal AA regiments, as well as a combat engineer group. It's not the best, and I do have, so we'll start being able to build up ADAC, which is great. I do want an airfield there. Catalinas are able to be here because it is a coastal hex, but I do need that airfield built up so I can get fighters. And I do believe I earmarked some units in LA. Let's see. Target, yeah. I earmarked the 101st USN Base Force as well as the 138th Separate Infantry Regiment. The reason these aren't set to upgrade or like replacement is they have everything. It's just that some are disabled. Well, actually, they are down a few rifle squads, so I'm just gonna put that up there. And I will. I do need to buy out the separate infantry regiment. I will just put them on the same convoy as the USN base force. I do not have the points currently, even though I'd be switching it to. Oh, I think. So I just switched the core. I think it needs a turn to do that. So we'll just leave that. So I do have these 2 units earmarked for it. I do need to have this here for a little bit to get. Yeah, it has no naval support, even though it's supposed to have 100. So it's missing a lot of its support and engineer. It does have. It already does have those 2 radars, which is great for defense. It also has some pretty good AA guns. In terms of carriers, I will say that they are safe. I don't really have a set plan for them currently. So that is that. I do remember that I said I was going to look at intel. Haven't done that yet. There's only 2 losses, and they were both ops losses today. As you can see, all the points here. I've lost 89 ships. He's lost 10. Air losses aren't too bad. I think air losses are pretty good. One Catalina and a Lodestar was ops lost out. For the whole campaign so far, I've lost 55 Buffaloes and 53 P40Es. The Wildebeest number is at 36 because of that horrible mistake I made. I've shot down 32, 39 Nels, and 32 Zeros, which is nice. And those Wildcats was because I couldn't get them off of Wake, but I did get the pilots out, which is great. Let's go group reinforcement. I get the Yorktown in 4 days, which is great. I also get some Blenheims in Aden in 4 days. So that'd be the 4th carrier. Well, 4th fleet carrier. Pilots, I do not have an ace. In fact, I don't have him at all. I don't even have a 3 kill. I thought I got that guy out, but apparently he had too high of a delay or something. I swear I'd gotten all the pilots out. So, well, the next one is 2 kills for the British. Sucks that I thought I did get Theron out. That really does suck. Yeah, him too. I got those guys out. I swear I did. Okay. Ship sunk. Yeah, losing all those subs at Manila does suck. Those transports that I've claimed, always nice. I'm pretty sure I've definitely killed more than this. Biggest thing that I've lost so far was the Gulf Pride tanker, and then the first U.S. carrier, not purpose-built but converted, the USS Langley, was sunk at Manila, and then more tankers. Yeah, all those subs, that's horrible for me. I even lost a Dutch sub. Yeah, basically all the stuff at Manila was unavoidable. Was that first day. Ship availability. Next day we get an AP, a bunch of AKVs. We get an AVD. I don't really. It may be my inexperience, but I don't really know what to do with AVDs. Like they're destroyer tenders. No, is that, oh, aircraft tender destroyer. Okay. What was I thinking of for the destroyer tender? I don't really know how those work either. So I think this one you just put in a hex that has it. And then we get a nice tanker. Yeah, pretty decent tanker. And then nothing the next day, and then one AK. Then we get the Yorktown and San Diego. Bunch of yard patrols. An oiler. 3 good ASW destroyers. We've got an HTML in Singapore. Let's do ground reinforcements. Get the 125th Infantry Regiment in Los Angeles in 3 days, so we don't get any ground reinforcements for 3 days. Then we get, looks like, some New Zealand armor. We even get an armored unit in Bandawang, which is great. In Bataan, we get 2 construction battalions. Good. Those are nice. Units in Sydney is always great. 6-inch coastal guns are good too. Yep, there's that. Ground units destroyed. I recalled the Kowloon Brigade as well as the 1st Marine Defense Battalion. They are pretty. They got like the higher end of the 30 days or so, which does suck. Nothing I can do about that. I'd say I'm pretty much done. I am close to getting these guys out into Temalo, which would be great because I could then form the other Indian division, which is great. And I am trying to push him out of Merseng. But it does look like he has some ships that he wants to bombard with. I didn't leave I think it didn't leave maybe I didn't leave enough here, but it's so much engineers and AA, and then this amazing coastal defense. Like he can't land in Singapore against 15-inch, 9-inch. He can't get into that one. Yeah. So we're pretty solid. I'm pretty confident. Just got a couple of things planned in China. So I'm going to send the turn to Invictus. We may get the turn back tonight. Maybe not the turn back, but the replay. I am out of town from tomorrow morning to Sunday night. So I am hoping he sends the replay so I can get it recorded and up for you guys. So I'm going to end it here, and I will see you guys in the next one.